Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time I am building a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home here in Brindleton Bay. I realized I hadn't built in Brindleton Bay in quite some time, so yeah, I thought it would be nice just to come here and build a large family home that was nice and cozy, and basically I wanted to use as many packs as I possibly could because recently I have been doing things that are either base game or showcasing custom content, and I really haven't just been using the packs and trying to, just make them all feel cohesive and like they all belong together. And so that's what I wanted to do here. Hopefully you guys will like the way it turned out. Like I said, it's a large family home. You can fit 6 Sims in here easily, but really there is space to expand it. There's a laundry room that you could turn into another bathroom if you wanted to use the larger bathroom for like another bedroom. There's the garage that I used as an art studio, but that could be another bedroom. Or of course you could probably try to squeeze in a basement or something if you really needed some extra space, because then you have unlimited possibilities for adding more rooms, honestly. But yeah, I wanted to add like a lot of activities. So on the exterior, there's a swimming pool, there's a sandbox, a swing set, there's a greenhouse, a pond, and a garden, and then a few other like little activities here and there. So I was really pleased with the way it turned out, and I also just really like the shape of the house in general. I was looking at Pinterest like I normally do, but I wasn't looking at anything specifically. It was more just like generally looking, and so it was mostly me making up this house, and I'm not super confident with doing that. Usually I always start with some sort of reference, and so I'm really pleased that it turned out so cute. And so hopefully you guys will agree with me. Maybe it's just me that thinks it's so cute, but I really do like it. And I also liked the shingle siding. I'm not sure if I've ever used this shingle siding before, at least this much. I think I've used it a few times as just like an accent here and there, but never like an entire build. This one I believe came with Get Famous, if I remember correctly. We have a couple of shingle sidings in game. We have a variety of them that came with cats and dogs, and then this one that has 2 options that I think is Get Famous. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I think that's correct. But either way, I loved it in this sort of like green color. It matched the shutter doors, or shutter window doors. I guess you can call those doors. Either way, they matched the shutters that came with the cottage living windows really nicely, so I used that window a couple of times, and I thought it was super cute that way. I actually used a huge variety of windows. I don't typically do this. Usually I'll use like a set of windows from like a specific pack, or like all base game windows, something like that, to where they're like all very matching. But this time I used some from Cottage Living, from Discovery University, from Cats and Dogs. I used some base game windows. And yeah, I don't typically do that, but I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. I think I was able to make them all look like they belong on this build. I mean, it helps that I made them all white because it's easier to match them when they're all white. Even though the whites in the game aren't super consistent, I think these ones are somewhat consistent. But either way, I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. I love the porch area. I put some like hanging plants from the live edit objects there, which I think look really nice. And yeah, the exterior actually came together really easily. Like the house just kind of flowed really nicely. And even when I did the floor plan, that came together pretty simply too. But when it came to decorating this home, I was completely like stumped. I tried decorating this home maybe like 5 different times, and I was not liking it at all. I think I was trying to do something that was too traditional, and it's not that I wasn't liking it, it's just that it felt like something I had decorated before, and I wanted to do something a bit different. And so what I ended up doing for the interior was going way more modern than I probably ever would have expected me to do, and I actually really like it. When I finished decorating it, I wasn't sure if I did like it, but when I went to go take the screenshots, I was like, okay, I think it actually works, and I can see the family living here. And it actually helped me develop like the story for the family too, because I went into like building this without an idea for the family, and so I was trying to think of them as I was building it, and it helped with it a lot, because I think this family originally came from Evergreen Harbor, and the interior is decorated very much like the modernized version of Evergreen Harbor. I could see it being in this world, not the exterior, but the interior definitely. So yeah, it was super fun. I used some stuff from Eco Lifestyle, but mostly I used like Tiny Living and like Dream Home Decorator I used probably the most when doing the interior for this house, but it was super fun, and I don't think I've done this traditional of an exterior for like a suburban sort of house and then done that modern of an interior before. I may have done something maybe a little bit modern, but maybe not this modern. So hopefully you guys will like it. Definitely let me know what you guys think. But yeah, so I was thinking that they came from Evergreen Harbor. They recently moved here to Brindleton Bay. I think this has to do with like the father's career. I think he worked as like some sort of a city planner or something in Evergreen Harbor to help fix up that world and, you know, to make it less polluted, less dirty, more modernized, and sort of just like fixing up the town in general. And so now, even though Brindleton Bay hasn't became as polluted and dirty as Evergreen Harbor, it's on its way. Like, I think the docks area in my mind of this story has really developed a problem and things just need to be cleaned up. And so he took a job and moved his family over here. So he's working to fix up this world. This neighborhood is clearly fine though. It's beautiful. Like, everywhere is pretty. There's no trash and there's like beautiful homes and everything. I also think the area where like the beaches are, it's pretty nice. I mean, of course you could pretend that there's like trash on the beaches and stuff that need to be cleaned up, and maybe some of the the houses have like been neglected or something. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way you guys could play around with this story if you wanted to. So yeah, I was thinking his career brought them here, and the mom, she's a stay-at-home mom. I think she primarily is like a housekeeper, and she loves decorating her home, keeping a nice home, and planning things for her kids. But she also is a very like passionate artist, and she spends a lot of her time painting. And so I set her up a studio in the garage, and I think her ultimate like dream and goal once the kids are bigger is to open up like an art studio or like a gallery for her paintings, and to do something that's more focused on that. So I think that's a really fun idea, and I think it's just such a cute family idea. And then I actually reached out to my patrons to come up with the storylines for the children and like to come up with their personalities, because I didn't want to do something that I've done before, and I was kind of just feeling not super inspired, I guess, to do children's rooms, which is very unlike me because they're like my favorite rooms to do. But I think I was so focused on the parents that I just wasn't super focused on them. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever the reason may be, I got some really good ideas from my patrons, like I was saying, and I just love the way the kids' rooms turned out. They're so cute. There is a toddler room I did that didn't come from any suggestions, just like a generic toddler room. It's cute. I like it, and I think it matches the house, but it's not any like specific personality, at least focused on anything like that specifically. But there is a room for a couple of twins, and I love their room. It's super cute. It's very blue, and I think that's like the only thing that they really agree on is the color blue. But other than that, they're very different. They're like complete opposites. One is very into like reading and being a scout, and I think he's really into being a scout, not necessarily for like the outdoor adventures. It's for being like a studious scout and like being the best scout possible and getting all of the badges and kind of being a little bit of a butt kisser to whoever the leaders are and just showing how dedicated they are and how smart they are, basically. So I thought that was kind of a fun idea. And then their twin is very much into like socializing and into sports and just very like gregarious and outgoing and all of that sort of stuff. So I thought that was a really fun idea. So they both love the color blue, but they're completely different. They're both similar in the way that they like to be active. Like, I think to be a scout, you would definitely have to be somewhat active, and obviously to be into sports, you're active. But they approach those things in very different ways. So they have very different personalities. So I thought that was really fun. And then for the other kid in the house, they're very into dancing. And so I made an entire dance-themed room. I tried to pick posters that were music related. And then also I set up a little dance area in the bedroom with the dance floor and then a mirror and a stereo. And there's also some like trophies around. So they're clearly winning like competitions and stuff like that. So yeah, I really just loved those ideas. And I appreciate those of you that helped me out with that. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. But here you can see I'm working on the garden, just picking out a variety of fruits and vegetables and herbs and flowers, and some berries too. I think I used every single berry that we have in game. And so I love that that's a possibility. So I do think the family is somewhat into like gardening. I think the parents are definitely into this. The dad, I think, is more into this than the mom. I think this is part of his whole like vision for renovating worlds and stuff is making them more self-sustaining and showing people that they can have their own gardens, and in areas where a garden isn't possible, they can have community gardens and stuff like that. So I think he's bringing that sort of stuff into those neighborhoods and those worlds and stuff too. So I also really enjoyed that. But you'll see in the screenshots that I had my sim go through and plant all of these. So they'll be planted and ready for your sims to take care of and harvest and that sort of stuff. There's a really good variety of them. I even included a couple of trees. I forgot what they were called for a second. Trees. I think there's an apple tree, a cherry tree, a pear tree, and a lemon tree. I think those are the ones that I included. There's a few different other like tree options, like there's avocado trees, there's the plantain tree, and then the one that like glows. I have no idea what that's about. I don't like building with it. I don't like that it glows. I don't even know the benefit of having the glowing fruit. Let me know in the comments, because I really have no idea what it does, but there may be like one or two other trees that I didn't think of, but I thought those were nice ones to include. But anyways, here you can see I'm just adding some more landscaping around the pond area. I really love the way the pond turned out. It's so cute, and I love that I put ducks in it, and you can see it from inside the greenhouse, which I also really enjoy. And I also really liked using this watercolor. When these first came out, these ones with like leaves and debris and stuff in it, I didn't really like them, and I didn't really see myself ever using them, but I've actually used them a few different times now, and I really enjoy them, and I love that they exist. So I'm really pleased with that. I think it looks super cute back here. I also added this bee box and also the bug house thing. I ended up including a couple more of those bug houses over by the greenhouse at the very end of the video, and I didn't realize that I'd placed them before, because I built the exterior like a week before I furnished it, and I did all of the exterior furnishing very last, and so I had forgotten that they were over there. So if it feels a bit repetitive, then you could easily just replace them for another activity or just delete them in general. It's not really that big of a deal, but I thought I would mention it in case you guys were wondering why I placed some more at the very end of the video. But here you can see I'm hanging some of these live edit objects hanging planters from base game. I thought they really just like made the house like come together, like they completed it for me. I thought they looked so pretty. And then here I'm just adding a pathway leading to the front of the house. I'm just over here on this far left side. And I think this looks really nice. I just use these nice like simple stepping stones that we have in the debug menu from base game. And I tried to like space them out here towards this end to look like they were kind of like trailing off, instead of having it wrap around all the way to the entryway to the build. And so I thought that looked pretty nice. And then here I'm using the tool mod to lower the garage. Usually I would use move objects to achieve that look, but the tool mod makes it a lot easier and a lot more accurate. So I am again forever thankful of this mod making my life so much easier. But yeah, here I'm just adding some exterior lighting, nothing too exciting, but I think it looks really nice. And I also sized down those exterior wall lights, and I don't normally do that, but I think it looked actually really nice. Yeah, not that it's that big of a deal, but I never sized them down or think to, but I think it actually looked super cute. But anyways, here I am moving on to the interior, working out the floor plan. So the exterior came together really easily. It all like flowed together. I think I did it all in one session, if I remember correctly. And then the floor plan actually came together really easily, but the interior decorating, like I said, I tried like maybe like 5 different times. I'm not sure. I really struggled with it. And so thankfully I finally did something that I enjoyed, and thankfully I did something different too, because I think the reason I was struggling with it was just because it just looked so similar. I was trying to use either furniture from Cats and Dogs or from Cottage Living, which I love. I love those furniture sets. They're so cozy and just I don't know, just homey and nice, but I've used them quite a bit. I've also used the stuff from Dream Home Decorator quite a bit too, but not in this combination, not with the very traditional exterior and the modern interior. So I'm really happy that I ended up doing that. So hopefully you guys will like it too. I feel like it's somewhat different, but I did start off by decorating the living room first. And as you can see, I placed the Cats and Dogs couches, and I was like, no, I'm going to do something different. And so I went ahead and placed these couches that came from Dream Home Decorator. I thought they looked really nice in here in this white color, and I also thought it complemented this flooring really nicely. I felt like this flooring was really traditional looking, but the colors of it felt somewhat updated and modernized and not like what you would typically see. And so I think they've been like refinished. They've been sanded and restained to be this color. And I just thought it like matched the pillows nicely. And so I was really pleased with that. I also gave it a little bit of a boho feel by like layering the rugs and adding like a few plants and stuff, which I just really love. And I realized that I never do this on interiors to regular homes for like families or even for single Sims. I pretty much exclusively do that decorating style in apartments, which I think is a shame because it's like my favorite style in real life and to decorate in the Sims. And so even though this isn't like a full-on like boho interior, it has some elements of that, which I really enjoy. So hopefully you guys will like that too, especially if you like my boho style apartments, because I've done a lot of those. I've done probably like half a dozen or maybe even a full dozen, I'm not sure, of boho style apartments. So yeah, anyways, yeah, here I'm decorating the fireplace, adding some candles, and that plant that came from the paranormal stuff pack is like my favorite plant in game. Even though we just got like a full-on plant themed kit, it's still like my favorite. I really like it. I use it in like every single build, no matter the style. But yeah, anyways, as you guys probably know, I really struggle with decorating long and narrow living rooms. So I ended up using the same base game plant on either side of the fireplace because I had no idea what to do to like balance the room out and to make both corners feel fully decorated. I really try to avoid a long, narrow living room when doing floor plans. I think I made it work here, and I think I end up making it work whenever I'm like approached with the problem. But I feel like it is a problem. Like I always try to avoid it whenever possible. But it didn't really work out with this floor plan to have the living room anywhere else, at least in my mind. Maybe you guys could see something different, but I don't know. I think I made it work, especially, I feel like it's balanced. But anyways, there I'm just moving on to the entryway. The entryway has the walk-in closet. I decided to add that because I had the room for it, and it adds another like gameplay element to the house. And so I thought that was pretty nice. I think I end up including one in the hallway upstairs as well. And I'm realizing that those base game leaf artworks are very off-center from each other, and I meant to line them up. So I will try to fix that before uploading it to the gallery. Either they will be perfectly in line or more staggered, I think would look better. But anyways, here I'm just decorating this side table. And since I was thinking the mom was an artist, I decided to put some of these leaning artworks around the build. And I think those are ones that she's done herself. They came from Eco Lifestyle and they're just so pretty. Like every single painting on those is beautiful. And I wish they were like separated and we could hang them on the walls, because really they'd be the best artwork that we have in game. But I really like them, and I think they look cute just like propped up as decorations here and there. So I really like the way that turned out. Here we're moving on to the dining room. So the dining room has a very large table, which is nice because 6 Sims can live in this house really easily. So I wanted to have a full dining table that has 6 chairs. One of the Sims though is a toddler, and I don't think I ended up including a high chair. So you might want to add one if you like having a high chair, but I think what I've heard from you guys in the past is that you don't even end up using the high chairs because they're so glitchy. But maybe that's changed now that there's been updates, maybe since that's been a possibility, or probably not. Actually, they're probably still not working that good. I don't know. Let me know. But I didn't include one. That's an easy thing to add and just to put on the end of the dining table if you'd really like one. But yeah, I kind of struggled with this room as well, what I wanted to do like over by these windows and what I wanted to place as like decorations and stuff. But what I ended up doing is actually moving these 2 pieces of artwork over by the door. And so, and I sized them down. I think that looks nice. And I put a mirror in its place. And I think that just kind of like opened up the room a little bit and added something just a bit different as like artwork instead of having more paintings. And so I think that looked really nice. And then here I'm just trying to find some decorations to put on top of the dining table. I actually end up moving this plant over on a side table by a chair because I moved things around a little bit. I moved that china hutch over there and put a chair here in the corner. This chair is very traditional, but I wanted a high back chair to fill in this corner because I felt like if I put a shorter chair, it just kind of would like get lost when you're looking at it at Sims eye level. And I feel like we need more tall back chairs. I'm not sure how they would look if they were modern. necessarily, but I just love this chair. I use it whenever I possibly can. But yeah, in the plants place, I put some fruit and then some salt and pepper shakers, and I think it looks super cute. And then that's it for the dining room. So over here is going to be the kitchen, and of course I used the counters that came from Dream Home Decorator, but for the overhead cabinets, instead of using the matching cabinets that came with this set, I used the modular furniture shelves, and I think this actually worked really nicely, and I've been meaning to do this for some time, and I actually started a build in the Mount Komorebi world, and I actually lost the footage of me recording it, and I'm so mad at myself. I built the entire exterior and started decorating the interior. I need to go into that save and just take screenshots of it and just redo it, unfortunately, because I really like that build and I wanted it to be for my save file. It's so frustrating. But anyways, I did something similar in that kitchen to this one, and it's actually been some time since I started that one, so I've been meaning to do it again like ever since. And so I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I have some like more open shelves and stuff to add like clutter and things like that. So I think that looks really cool. They are a bit difficult to use. They're quite finicky, I realize, which can be very frustrating, but if you're just patient and you keep messing with them, you can make them work, and I do like them in here. But yeah, I did struggle with them quite a bit, as you can probably see, and they're a bit offset over here on this side, but I ended up using the tool mod to lower these shelves here on the far left of them, so they're at the same level, because at this point they're actually clipping through the second floor. I didn't realize that they would be, and so when I move on to the second floor I can see them a little bit. So yeah, I fixed it, and I think that's so much better. But yeah, here I'm just picking out some decorations and some different activities and stuff to do here in the kitchen, like having the teapot and the microwave. I think I actually ended up getting rid of the teapot. And something I should probably mention, on the other side of the wall right here, there is a platform filling in that dead space. And so if you have any issues with using this kitchen, then it's most likely that platform causing a problem. And so hopefully the sink being away from it, it still works, but the dishwasher might not work. So yeah, keep that in mind. Hopefully it doesn't cause any problems, but if it does, then just lower the platform and maybe put like another walk-in closet or make the garage space like a little bit bigger. But I wanted the platform to be there because I like that the walls stay up when you have them in cutaway mode, and so it looks a little bit better in certain spaces to use it that way. And so that's why I decided to do it. But yeah, here I just placed a few more clutter pieces, and I'm adding some artwork, and then this is basically it for the kitchen. I thought about switching up the wallpaper to match the tile, so the wainscoting with like the black on the bottom, but I did not like the way it was looking. It completely like made the color scheme look very flat and dull, because it was just very gray and black, and my color scheme was a lot brighter and colorful. So yeah, I decided not to keep that. But over here is going to be the laundry room, and so if you wanted to have another bathroom, this would be an easy spot to do it. But I just made it a laundry room with a washer and dryer and some like clutter and stuff. If you decide to have a cat, I would definitely put the litter box in here, because there's definitely plenty of space to do that. I also ended up adding some more modular furniture shelves and some counter space, basically just to add more places for clutter. And there I decided to add this shelf instead of having this painting right here, because the shelf just matches the style perfectly. And I just love that shelf so much, and so anytime I can use it, I try to. For some reason, the shelving that came with laundry day was having quite dark lighting on it. Even though I had like a couple of those like really bright saucer lights in here, they were still really dark, and so I'm not sure what's causing that necessarily. I don't think it's my Reshade, because I have used them before with this same Reshade and I haven't had that same problem. Even though they are a bit transparent, I'm not sure what causes that transparency in a mesh necessarily, but those shelves have it really bad. But anyways, over here is going to be the downstairs bathroom. So in here is just a sink and a toilet, but if you felt like it was necessary to have another shower, you could probably easily fit one in here, because actually the parents' ensuite bathroom doesn't have a shower, it's just a bathtub. You could fit one in there if you would really like to, but it would be a bit cramped and not look very realistic. You'll see me try to place it when we move on to that room. But anyways, over here is going to be the garage. So in here there are some like garage items. Also, if you decided to use the laundry room for something else, you could move the washer and dryer in here too, so that's a possibility. But over here in this corner is where I create like the art studio. So I put a couple of art easels, some painting decorations, some leaning artwork, and also that nice base game tray with all the paintbrushes and stuff on it. I think this item is super cute, and also this rack with all of the like the canvases that have been painted on and stuff, and I love that it has like the paint splatters all over it. So it looks like this sim has been very busily painting and using her art supplies as much as he possibly can. And it looks like this art easel, the one that came from Discovery University, doesn't have any paint splatter on it, so maybe it's like brand new or something. So I thought that was a really fun idea. And then some like gardening supplies, since they do have a garden and a greenhouse, I thought that kind of made sense. And then I used the dance floor that came from Get Together as, you know, a space for the paint to fall and to splatter on. And I used a swatch that looks like it might have some paint splatter already on it. So yeah, I really like the way that turned out. But here I'm moving on to the second floor, just copying over some of like the wallpaper and the flooring to fill in the spaces. And the hallway leading to the bedrooms is really honestly not that exciting. I put just like a couple of minor decorations in there. But over here is going to be the parents' bedroom. So the parents' bedroom is of course decorated like the rest of the home. And recently I used these modular furniture surfaces as side tables and putting two of them together on either side of the bed. I did it in an apartment recently, and I thought it was such like a cute idea, so I did it here in this bedroom, and it gives me space to add more plants. And so I really like the way that turned out, and I think it looks so cute in here. Yeah, and I really just like that. But here I'm doing something that I've been doing recently by creating open doors. I've actually been doing this for a long time, but recently I did a build where I did it quite a bit. And I had so much fun with it, so I decided to bring it back in this build, and I thought it looked so nice just having the door like open to the bathroom. And I end up putting the toilet in its own like separate room, because I've mentioned before that it's probably not like the best idea floor plan wise to be able to see the toilet from the bed. So typically when I see bathrooms like this in real life, they are in their own separate room, because our bathroom in my house in real life has like an open bathroom from the bedroom, but the toilet's in its own separate room. And so I decided to do that here, and I really like the way that turned out. And then, like I said, I didn't end up placing a shower in here. You'll see me try to place one over by the archway to the toilet room, but it's just a bit cramped and everything looks like it doesn't really belong necessarily, and so I just leave the bathtub, and I just really like the way it turned out. So you could easily add a shower if you would like to, but I just felt like this fit so much nicer. And this bathtub is super cute. It came from Dream Home Decorator, and I like that it's like the modern frame that the tub is sitting on. I think it's super cute. But I just add a little stool next to it with some magazines, and then the shelf above it with some decorations that I also think look super cute. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the way the bathroom turned out, and I think it looks so nice from the angle looking into the bedroom. Like, was really pleased with the way that turned out. But yeah, over here it's going to be the shared bathroom for the children. So in here there is a shower tub combo, so there's a shower available somewhere in this build. And yeah, it's decorated pretty much like the other bathrooms. It's just a little bit of a different shape, and I think it looks really nice. I especially like this counter that has the towel hanging from it on the front. I really like that extra detail. I think that's so fun. And yeah, other than that, I just added some like clutter and stuff to the surfaces, trying to fill it in. There's also a toddler potty in here, so your toddler is covered. At least in this bathroom, you might want one or two other toddler potties in the rest of the build. Maybe in the downstairs bathroom would be appropriate. I think it probably would be. But anyway, so here I'm moving on to the other bedrooms. So the first bedroom that I decorate is going to be for the dancer, and this one was just such a fun idea and something that I have not done before. So I really appreciate the feedback on my Patreon page and like the ideas, and you guys willing to share your ideas with me. It was so fun. But yeah, over here I create like an open closet. I decided to use the Dream Home Decorator like hanging clothing. I thought this one matched perfectly. The colors were perfect for the colors of the bedroom, and I was able to add some like posters behind the clothes and some different cute little decorations up on the shelf too that I thought looked really nice. And also like the surface of the dresser, I was able to clutter that up. And so I just really had fun with this room, and kids' rooms are like always my favorite. Oh, I also added that set of CDs with like that bunny character on it. I thought that was so perfect for a sim that loves dancing, because maybe that's like their favorite artist to dance to. And then I add some like musical posters, and I wasn't sure if that dance floor was going to be hidden underneath the rugs, because for some reason I remembered placing it at some point and it hides only under certain rugs, but the base game rug that I used, it actually lays over top of. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I put a couple of different rugs around, and then the dance floor too. I'm not sure if children's sims can actually use the dance floor though. I wasn't quite certain about that, but it's in here. Hopefully they can. But yeah, I just placed some posters around. There's a stereo, some trophies, and yeah, I just think this is such a cute kids room, and I just love this idea so much. I really just enjoyed it so much. So yeah, hopefully you guys will like it too. But here I'm just adding another trophy. I think this is like their prize trophy, their most I don't know, the one that took like the hardest competition, or the one that they're like the most proud of. And so I put that down there in like the display case. And then over here I'm just adding a few more decorations around the dance area, and that nice banner thing that came from Get Together. Maybe that's like part of the dance group that they're a part of or something, or a dance club. And then over here is going to be the toddler's room. I decided to use this bed that came from Eco Lifestyle because it's just so cute and it matches so many things so nicely. I wish I was able to add more blue in here because that blue on the bedding is so adorable, but I didn't really see other items that came in that nice soft like powder blue color that I wanted to use. But I would have liked to be able to tie it in a little bit more. But anyways, over here I have this dresser that came from Tiny Living, and I put some toddler books on top of it and a few little clutter items. I also sized down that plant that just came with the latest kit, and I actually really liked the way it looked sized down up there. I thought that was kind of a nice decoration. But over here I had no idea what I wanted to do. Usually I'll add like a changing table, like a faux changing table with like a base game dresser, and then like a whatever you call those, like futon things, but I decided not to because I've done that so often. So instead I decided to use these bookcases that came from Dream Home Decorator, and I ended up putting a couple of them next to each other to fill in this wall space. And I think it actually looked really nice because I added a couple of like just clutter pieces that I thought worked nicely in a toddler's room. I really just feel like we need more stuff for nurseries and toddler rooms. Like, we don't have much artwork. We have toys, of course, but when it comes to decorating wall spaces, I'm usually so lost, and we need just different activities for them to do, like, I don't know, like little play things and different toys and stuff. Oh, I decided to add that height chart of the ballerina for the dance room because it was just perfect. So I added that quickly in there. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the toddler room, just adding a rug, and then I sized up that dollhouse just a little bit because I think I made it too small, but I don't think that really affects the gameplay. Maybe the animations are a little bit off, I'm not exactly sure, but from my understanding, the dollhouses work just fine if you size them up or down. At least down. But anyways, over here is going to be the other kids' room. So for a moment, I thought about just leaving it for one kid, but then I really liked one of the ideas that I got about doing ones for like opposite twins. So I decided to merge a couple of the other ideas that I got from my Patreons together to create this room. And so it's the opposite twins room. And so like I was saying, one is very much into reading and the Scouts. And so I tried to decorate their part of the bunk bed with like a reading poster, and then also just different decorations that sort of showed that they like the outdoors somewhat. So I used that like big mouth bass mounted fish that we have from Base Game, and I was thinking it was like one of those singing fishes that used to be really popular in like the 90s. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So I thought that was pretty fun. I also put some like postcards and stuff around, and then of course sports related posters on the other part of the bed. And then over here I do have a desk. This is actually a table that came from Eco Lifestyle. I think it's one that you can like build or something. I forget exactly how that works. I never do any gameplay, but I think you can make it somehow in that pack. But I used it over here with a couple of chairs so they can sit there and do like their homework and stuff together. But here you can see I'm adding some posters and stuff, and there's that big fish. That looks so cute. I really enjoyed the way that looked. And then I also have this toy box that has like stickers and stuff in it that really makes me think of like the whole Scouts thing. I also ended up placing the Scouts board next to the bed too, so the Sims can interact with that. And then there I just placed some decorations and stuff on the desk. I also ended up placing a journal. The 17 one looks like a jersey cover, so that's for the sports kid. And then of course there's the Scouts booklet for the other one too. So I think that looks so adorable. And then over here I was trying to use that one shelf, but I ended up using this one instead, and I placed a My Sims doll in it. I thought that filled in the space nicely. And then over here I just added some decorations to the sandbox. I added a dollhouse and then also that building block table. And then of course in the sand you can actually like build sand castles and things like that. So it's super fun. And then I wanted to add a dining table right there, but it really did not fit whatsoever. And I really didn't think it looked right by the pool either. So what I ended up doing is placing a toddler swimming pool, a couple of lounge chairs, and I move the toddler swimming pool over on the other side of the swimming pool, and I take part of it out to make it look more like it's built into the swimming pool. even though it doesn't really. I mean, I wish that we had like shallow ends to the swimming pool or just like a different way to do them. I think that would be nice. I don't know. We'll see if we ever get an update to swimming pools so we can do like shallow ends or rounded swimming pools or have more realistic looking diving boards. I honestly think I would use them so much more if they looked more realistic and they weren't just such like bulky, tall things that are kind of awkward. But anyways, over here is going to be the greenhouse. So the greenhouse has a couple of these standing planters or vertical planters, and then also some just regular pots. And then instead of using one of the potting benches like we have from like various packs, they're all very traditional. So I decided just to create my own using some of these Dream Home Decorator counters and cabinets and placing plant clutter and things like that. And I think it looks so cute, and I love the way it turned out. Greenhouses are like one of my favorite things to decorate. So I really had fun with it. And yeah, hopefully you guys will like it too. Hopefully you guys will like the way this build turned out. Hopefully you guys will like my story for the family and just everything about it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive, and the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about. We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive. You'll be the last one I think about. When it all breaks down, I'll wait for you right here. And I swear that we got nothing to fear. It's a miracle that you and I are finally here. I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That we